Hello.
Hey, Chris. How's it going?
Good. I'm in the mood to split stuff up. You know what I
Great.
mean? Break it
Because
into pieces.
I noticed you had a lot of hard-coded values in your CSS.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's what.
I've been just thinking about this because I've been doing some of this work, like a little for realsy on some stuff, like color systems and button components and all that kind of classic stuff that we all work on, right? So I just set us up with a card. It's a lot like cards we've used on this show. In fact, there's going to be more card stuff coming up because cards are just a great demo of certain things in CSS land. Card, title, body, button, three things. Cool. So there's a card class, and the card has a background and a border and padding and border radius and all that stuff, right? Kind of a compound component and of this big stupid box shadow. I was just playing with it because I think you really can make box shadows like look good if you work at it, you know?
Ooh, yeah.
A lot better than a classic box shadow. Anyway, why do it like this anymore that we have custom properties? I think there's a way to refactor this kind of better.
Yeah.
And at least in my opinion, like the more I do this, the more I like don't regret doing it, right? So instead of we'll just go like that, you know? Like we'll just make all these things into custom props instead. Card border, card padding, card range, and then we'll use it on the right away. You know, we'll just var and we'll just use it. I think this is just like a way to, let's see, what's the easiest way to do? I guess I'll just, I'm always like, is there a find and replace way to do this? But I guess Vim people would laugh at me and they would already be done.
Regex is you can do it, yeah, but.
So, and the whole point of doing this is that then when you inevitably need variations on it, you aren't like redeclaring stuff. This becomes like a little bit more of the kind of the master.
Like the prototype of it, yeah.
Yeah, the prototype of it that you can kind of make more global changes to and kind of control better, easier to reason about perhaps. So if we had variation, which we already do, it's in the HTML, I think we should be able to like adjust. Let's adjust how much padding it has to only have one margin. So instead of going like, oh, the variation has different padding. This is okay. This isn't like against the law to do this, but instead you go card padding is 1 rem and it does the same exact job, but it's a little cleaner, I think.
I think so too, because you basically created a whatever functional component,
API,
I guess,
or something,
like
for cards, you know,
and you're just passing in properties, custom properties that change the presentation of the thing. I think it's pretty cool.
There's also like less specificity fighting later. That it's pretty easy to pass in any sort of selector here in the right context, and this will just smurf its way over there.
Yeah, because if you had a third card that was like card variation --2 or something like that, it would have to reset the whole property, and it gets a little trickier if you just did like padding top 1 rem, which is also like
now that's a thing that
could mess it up, but
that's a thing to think about here because this does get a little funky. Because you can, I think this actually will work. So let's make some decisions about breaking stuff up. For example, let's say on this component, and this I think would be true on a button component, you do want to set the block size and the inline size of padding. So you could go card padding block, which is like top and bottom, right? Of 2 rem, and card padding inline of 2 rem. Then card padding is just a reference to them, right? Var card padding block space var card padding inline. You know what? Text editors need to get better at auto completing these things like they can do in JavaScript, you know? So
your
that killed it.
Card padding inline.
Yeah, thank you. Inline. So we're referencing both of those. And now I've overridden it here, but I don't have to override both if I don't want. I could just override one direction.
See, that's kind of
Did I do them backwards, though? I think I did. Inline goes first.
Oh, yeah.
Inline and block is second.
Wait, is that right?
So or did I screw it up again? Isn't it? Padding goes top
think-
and bottom.
Block is the start and the top and the bottom.
Oh yeah,
Line
you're
is
right. And I reduced it here, so there's less up here. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Sorry, I corrected a non-mistake.
I had a bit of a blackout right there. I just
There's a gotcha in these things, which I think I've talked about before. That's like if you were to take these things and put them up outside of the card component.
Okay.
Because a lot of people do this, right? They're like, I'm just going to put them everywhere. Look at how it just instantly stopped working.
Uh-oh.
Like padding worked, but these didn't work. And it's just how custom properties are resolved. Like because these weren't declared on the card, this variation like doesn't know what to do with it. It's like,
wow. Okay. So they get resolved at their any sort of compound property, I guess. Is that
a compound property, right? Where and if it's like if these were declared on the card, as you saw, it's fine. So one of the solutions is to kind of just go like also and card. You know what I mean? I don't love that though. Yeah. So I'm just gonna back out of that. I kind of like just declaring them where you're going to use them for the most part. That gets harder though in a color system. So we can mess with that a little bit. You actually might, and I don't even care for the root thing. It just feels like fancier than its own pants. Like what is root? It's just the HTML element.
Oh, I use it just because I didn't know it existed, and so I use it. So.
Yeah, but it's like a little bit more, has more specificity than HTML does. So like why it's a class, not a element. Okay. So like why do people do that? It kills me. So if you're gonna have like whatever this is, like brand one, like color brand, whatever, color one, we'll call it, and we're going to move it here instead. We probably wouldn't call it card background, or maybe we would, I don't know. That should work, right?
Yeah,
right. Then but now we're in that same kind of position, but we still can override the card background, which I think is the right way to go here. So card background, blue or something. That's fine. That seems okay. What was I going to say though? Like, let's say you want to like chuck that opacity down a little bit on it. That's killed me a little bit. It's because then you kind of like, you don't have the opportunity to do that. I can't call color one and apply opacity to it. There's no way to do it. So I've been going like this. This is, I kind of stole this from Stephen Shaw, to be fair, because he's just smarter than me about stuff like this. And he's like, just split them up. I mean, and we came to this after way too much talking about it. Whoops. Dash. Oh my God. Too much of the things. Isn't that neat? So now that one is the way it is. If you need this, you got it. And that's what you can use to apply opacity. So I'm not doing purple anymore. What I want to do is like, I want a variation of color one. So I'll go HSL, use the HSL values, and now I can apply opacity. So like half the opacity, boom.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's a little bit of a hack. And it's only because there's no color manipulations in CSS yet. Like once we get those, like darkens and lightens and all that crap, we can do that. The only reason we're even using HSL at all here is because it has, I don't know, just because this syntax is easy to use. We could just be using RGB or whatever. We're not really leaning into HSL usage here. Some people go as far as like color 1H.
Right. And then color 1S.
Do all,
color 1L.
Do all of them. But the problem is it's not as useful as you want it to be because you can't, let's just see this thing through because why not? This is kind of going to work. But then you're like, well, the point of HSL is that I have all these individual values to use. This is going to be verbose, but just bear with me. So we'll go var 3 times. And then it's HSNL. Isn't it? First of all, it's already getting like gross to look at a little bit, right? Yeah. But hey, what are you going to do? And then if you had that many colors, is it going to work first? Yeah. You think, oh, I'll just lighten this. So you'd think in my variation, I could just lighten that one property. Be like, oh, what is it normally? 73%. I'll make it 90%.
90%. Yeah, okay.
Guess how it doesn't work?
It just doesn't because it's pre-computed or whatever the compound property, right?
Yes. Yep.
Well,
so it's not that useful. So like, why ship them if you're not going to use them?
Yeah, that seems like a over optimization. I would just wait for the
color functions, whatever they are. I don't even know what they are in my brain right now, but there's going to be that stuff like coming soon. But this seems like a happy medium.
Seems like a happy medium. I wonder too.
I'm
trying to. So I don't think actually it's applying to that second card. I think you have to put var on that second variation or something. But
down here.
Yeah, HSL var color one.
Oh, did I? It just looked like it was working, but really it was transparent.
I think it's the background. Yeah. But is that right? Yeah. Yeah. That's more transparent, right?
2 is just a little.
Oh yeah, now it's working. Okay, cool. Whew.
Elastic helps the world's leading organizations put their data to work using the power of search. Register today for Elastic's biggest and free user conference of the year, Elastic on Global. Elastic on Global is designed for you, the people who are solving the world's most complex problems using the power of search. And the power of search is what enables you to protect and defend your entire digital ecosystem. Hear from industry experts, Elastic product teams, and your peers about how you can take your skills and your organization's search observability and search capabilities to a whole new level. The URL is elastic.co/shop talk. It's their biggest virtual event of the year. And again, that's free. Elastic.co/shop talk.
I was going to say, I wonder if you could just do the HSL, right? And then I wonder if like there's a way for like Houdini to grab the HSL and read, like to change it, like CSS Houdini paint. Like you could say, give me the HSL, and then I'm just going to do all the JavaScript to add the Lightning alpha functions and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's just something I'm thinking of offhand here, but because I wouldn't do the H-S-L. Maybe for grays in my design system, because grays are usually like whatever variations of one tone.
Yeah. But I use it a lot for grays though, because I think, like I know some color systems are like this, right? There's color 2 and color 3. And really the only difference is that you lightened it. So this is 90 and this is 70 or something. That's like, doesn't work for us. Like those aren't, I think real color systems like bend on a color scale and stuff. They're a little less like mathematic than that. So I prefer to just like, have a real designer crafted color system, put the colors in there and then start messing them with them programmatically.
Well, it's kind of funny too. There's like, in our experience, having 10 grays doesn't actually help you. Like you kind of want to be as less, like the least amount of colors as possible. So, adding too many is a problem. So, anyway.
So that's cool. I mean, what I like is you can just kind of keep going with this custom property usage. I think you can go a little too far. I mean, I have no idea what the business is at YouTube. Like I'm sure they're going to be fine. Like they've been doing this for a long time.
I don't know, man.
But if you
go out of business, purely based on their,
you look at their HTML element, like look at the custom properties here, like just nuts. Like that's a very lot of custom properties. Literally everything is a custom property. Look at that. I'm still going. Just wow, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I think we're underusing them now in a way. Like I think there's a world in which your whole design system is just all custom properties, or you start building and just everything's a custom property and you build in that kind of way, and then it's just very easy to override things when you need to in kind of a sensical way. Like just everything, here's this margin on the title. Just, why isn't margin, var card title margin or something?
Yeah.
And then you set it up here, and then it's a child, but you still have this like menu of properties up here.
That's your API. That's your customization surface. And I'm not skipping ahead probably 10 videos here. This is actually a really good API for styling, offering styling in web components, which have Shadow DOM, and Shadow DOM is kind of notoriously weird to work with. But you can custom properties pass through the Shadow DOM, so you could actually build an API for your Shadow DOM component using this. So,
and note this, Dave. See, here I had to say H2, but here I don't. In my variation, I don't have to go
right?
H2. Bleh. I just changed just the card title.
Because you're just saying, hey, I know the cascade. I understand the cascade. I'm going to send that down through.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? That these variations get a little cleaner. And you can really just keep going with that. You know, like here's the button. Let's make sure it has like a class or something. Class button. And we can end with this, but I think you can kind of see where I'm going. Then you get to have like conversations with your team. Like, what's on the menu for buttons? You know, is it, you know, button BG? Is it, you know, button? Do we often need to
you have different paddings, you have different font sizes, you have different boldnesses I've seen.
Sure, yeah. Button, like font weight.
Yeah.
You know, just all this stuff. And then your variations are just easier, you know? Button, BG.
And there's something elegant about that, right? Like that your variation is really just a collection of variables that change the parent. It's kind of cool. It's and because of the low specificity too of those, you can have like 10 variations that kind of do different things. You know, you're kind of getting into
a little more freedom with the DOM too. You know, you can refactor the internals of a component and just like let the menu do what it's going to do. Pretty nice. I think that's cool. I think we're just going to see a lot more of that stuff. Careful with the gotcha, though. It's a hell of a gotcha, I think.
Yeah. You gotta know that gotcha. That's why you subscribe to these videos and like them. Thank you.